continuing to get to know the sheep breeds of Britain. These will be short summaries, leaving scope for you to dive deeper into breeds that you feel drawn to or inspired to get to know better. I want to learn intuitively and practically in the hope that I can have a better understanding of what breeds are suited for which projects, how they might work together in blends, and explore firsthand just how varied the sheep of Britain are. Once we get a few more breeds on our wheel, I'll start a map showing where we have been with the breed so far. Today we're going to wash, prepare and spin with Teeswater fleece. I washed the fibre in my usual way, rinsing first in tepid water and then giving it a nice soak in some more wash before squishing it down between some towels to get rid of most of the moisture, and then allowing it to dry. Teeswater sheep originate from the Tees Valley in northern England. They were named for the River Tees. They have a history of approximately a couple of hundred years old and were bred primarily for their fine wool and meat. By the 1920s they were considered a rare breed. Luckily for us, this is another case where active conservation, the Teeswater Sheep Breeders Association being formed in 1949, has kept them available to us. The breed is known for its hardy nature, well suited to the wet and cold conditions of the region. Over time, Teeswater sheep have been crossbred with other breeds to improve their wool production, and today, the breed is prized for its long and lustrous wool. Some of the attributes of Teeswater wool. The fleece produced is naturally long and fine, with wavy locks that don't clump together. It is kemp-free with a micron count of 30 to 36 microns. The lower the micron count, the finer it is. On initial inspection, this fibre to me feel like it would not enjoy being hand-carded in the way I've grown accustomed to. I think it might be preferable to do a semi-worsted method of drum carding, but I think I'm going to go for combing first, to see if my beginner hands and wide combs might be able to get the knack for it. Once the fibre was ready to go, it did feel like combing was the method I was most drawn to, and it just felt right. So I lined up the locks into piles of matching lengths with the tips all facing the same direction.
But they were genius. It's a brilliant technique. One thing I will say though is just be a little bit careful about your estimate of how much is actually in the bobbin, because I have ended up before now with anti-flying braces.
It combed much easier than I thought it would. The process was much more smooth than I could have anticipated. However, partway into the process there was quite a lot of static build-up, so I went to my dressing table and got my trusty spray bottle of watered down conditioner, as I'd use on my own hair. It worked a charm and I was able to work with the fibre to make long lengths of robing ready to spin. On my reading, I found many different variations on staple length, ranging from 30 to 38 centimetres for the first clip, and thereafter shorn twice a year from 12 to 18 centimetres in length. The fleece weight can range too, I guess much like any aspect of nature, but an average range of 5 to 7 kilos. The smaller fleeces going down to about 3.4 kilos, and larger ones going all the way up to a whopping 8.2 kilos. This is a warm clear white colour and actually reminds me of the mohair I dyed using birch bark in February of 2025. I've been enjoying adding a little bit of folk tales or folklore to my videos lately, as I've been doing reading quietly at home in the evenings. And the River Tees area in northern England also has some folk tales, many rooted in its rugged landscapes. One tale is that of Peg Powler, a river hag said to haunt the Tees. According to legend, Peg Powler has green skin, long hair, and she lurks in the water waiting to drag in children who get too close to the edge. I guess parents used to tell this eerie tale to warn children away from riverbanks. William Henderson, in his 1879 work, Folklore of the Northern Counties of England and the Borders, describes her as having an insatiable desire for human life. Did make me chuckle. I think Teeswater wool is going to be excellent for spinning due to its long length and smooth texture. I think I'll be able to create a low twist yarn of a fine weight and that will hold up well in garments or shawls. It looks as though it will take dye really well, since the colour is so clear, and I have to say it's so dang lustrous. It also seems very reluctant to felt, and it's a good idea for those who are nervous about dabbling into dyeing without the fear of felting. I think the natural sheen will add a glow to knitted items, and I feel like it will be potentially really lovely fibre for scarves and shawls, but this is also another fibre I'd be interested in adding into a natural sock blend. With a little bit of a search, I haven't dived deep and I have not purchased from most of these places, but if you are after fibre from the Teeswater breed, there is Wingham Woolwork, who are an amazing supplier of fibres and looms and things, Benridge Woolworks, and also Teeswater wools. Teeswater wools actually have a farm themselves, and they, rear the sheep themselves, so that seems like a lovely one to support if you are interested in buying fibre. But if you are hoping to maybe get hold of some pure Teeswater wool, there is a company called Dogsonwood. I'm reading it as Dogs on Wood, but Dogsonwood. I'll put it down there. And it looks like they sell dyed and undyed 4-ply and lace weight Teeswater wool. The weight of the fibre before preparing was 37 grams. After preparing, it weighed 25.5 grams. I divided it into 2, and both parts weighed 12.5 grams. I don't know where the extra half a gram of fibre disappeared to. Once I'd spun it, it weighed 24 grams, and the yardage was 68 metres, creating a 2-ply yarn with approximately 22 wraps per inch. A nice fingering weight yarn. If you've raised Teeswater, processed Teeswater, or crafted with this fibre in the past, is there anything else you would like to share with us? By using Teeswater, I'm feeling again like I'm getting to deepen my understanding of the vastness of qualities that wool has and can gift us. Keeping a little piece of this history alive and hopefully being able to apply this knowledge to future projects, being even more specific when I'm choosing fibres. I am grateful that there are conservationists working to keep breeds alive and allow us to get us a hands-on experience of each of these breeds. This fibre is so starkly different from the Boreray wool I spun last time. This yarn is so drapey and so lustrous, and the halo is just, oh. Teeswater seems like a good breed to have in the toolbox of knowledge, adding practicality, resilience and lustre to our projects. It's so easy to spin fine, and I could have even gone finer, and it feels so strong even though it's just delicate and almost elven. And while there's not nearly enough, I could see how this would be a perfect fibre for a shawl. And I can imagine how gorgeous it would be in an array of colours, and even undyed it glows. Anyway, which breed do you think I should spin next? Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and don't forget to love each other. See you again next time.